Number 7. This is the big game. This is the game of the weekend. Number 7 Washington versus 8 Oregon. It's a 2.5-point spread Washington's way in Seattle. This one is going to be absolutely insane. I cannot wait to see this. Look, this game, for all intents and purposes, is deciding the Pac-12. Whether the winner of this game wins the Pac-12 championship, I don't know. But the winner of this game will play for the Pac-12 title. 100%. I will not be convinced otherwise. These are two of, not the two, but two of the best teams in college football. Two of the best quarterbacks in college football with Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix. Right now, Michael Penix Jr. is number 2. He's the second leading passer in all of the country. Coming off a season where he was the first leading passer in the Power 5. He was the second leader. What was it? I want to say the first overall leading passer was out of G5. Was it Western Kentucky? I believe so.
Yeah.
It was Austin Reed. Yeah, out of Western Kentucky. But yeah, two of the best quarterbacks in the country. Bo Nix is playing like who Bo Nix was supposed to be out of high school. At Auburn, he was like, it was weird. You had a first and second down Bo Nix, and then you had a third and fourth down Bo Nix, who was like baller. First and second down, he really struggled. Third and fourth down, when it was clutch, in crunch time, he went and got it done. And now we're seeing that Bo Nix all game, every game, balling. Oregon's playing out of their mind in the run game. Defensively, they're playing really well. Every player on that team, I can't say that puts on a green or black or yellow or pink or chrome helmet because it changes every week. But everybody on that team would run through a brick wall for Dan Lanning, which is really fun to watch. They play as a team. The chemistry is awesome. The wide receivers are really good. Everything's going right for Oregon so far until this point. They get Washington. They go on the road. They're going to Seattle. This is where I've really struggled. This is where I've really, really struggled because I think Washington can win this game. I think Washington wins this game. But it's got to be Michael Penix Jr., Rome Odunze, Jalen McMillan, and the rest of that team, like the rest of the receiving core. 100% has to be. I think if you get elite days from Michael Penix Jr. in that receiving core, Washington wins, and Oregon's not going to be able to do anything about it. I genuinely think that I think the talent that Washington has at quarterback and in the wide receiver room is too much for Oregon to handle. But Oregon has more ways to win the game. I think Bo Nix is capable of keeping up with Washington to some extent. I don't know if he can go blow for blow the entire game, but I think he can keep up with Washington and keep Oregon in the game. You go to the running back room, Bucky, Irving. Oregon, I'm not making this prediction, but Oregon absolutely has the capability of controlling time of possession and keeping the ball out of Michael Penix Jr.'s hands. If they can do that successfully against a Washington defense that, frankly, has struggled, it's very likely Oregon wins. And that's why the line is so close. Look, it's 2.5-point favorite Washington's way. They give you 3 points for playing at home. That means on a neutral field, Oregon's a half-point favorite. This one's a toss-up. Ah, man, I've been stuck here. I've been stuck on this one. Mikey, throw something in there. Help me out here. What do you got?
Home field advantage. I'm going Washington.
So that's literally what Vegas said.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I think that this is going to be a great game fought by both sides. I think that Michael Penix Jr. will win this game, and I think this will be his Heisman moment game, and we'll look back on this and be like, yeah, that's why he's the Heisman. And he wins the Heisman. Putting two predictions out there for you.
Look, so you have Tez Johnson, wide receiver for Oregon, Troy Franklin, both in their draft year. Troy Franklin's a junior, but he very likely is going to the draft. He's been a baller all year. If they can match the production, they don't have to match the production. Let me just say that. If they can get 75% of the production that Washington's receiving room is going to get this game, then I think Oregon wins. Because Bo Nix is so good at quarterback. I would take Michael Penix Jr. over Bo Nix, but Bo Nix is really, really good at quarterback. The run game for Oregon has been great. Bucky Irving is one of the best running backs in the Pac-12. I truly believe that. And Troy Franklin's no slouch. Baller. If Tez Johnson and Troy Franklin can get 75% of the production that Washington's receiving room gets, then I think Oregon wins. That being said, I'm taking Washington.
So you don't think they match?
Look, like I said before, I think
could.
They absolutely could. And this is a toss-up game. I've really struggled with it. I said preseason that I think Washington's going to win the Pac-12. Alex said preseason that he thinks Oregon's going to win the Pac-12. This is where we collide. It looks like Vegas kind of is having the same struggle. They threw 3 points Washington's way for playing at home. Otherwise, it's not even a point differential. Again, I think Washington's going to win. I think the mixture of Michael Penix Jr. and their just dominant wide receiver room is the difference. But I do think Oregon has more ways to win. I think they're better defensively. They can control time of possession better. And if they do those well and can be consistent doing that through 4 quarters of football, look, there can be no mistakes made. When you're playing an offense as dominant as Washington's, there can be no mistakes made. But if they can do those things, if they can keep the ball out of the hands of Michael Penix Jr. and have solid production on the ground, then yes, they can win. But I'm taking Washington.
Jack in the chat says, I feel like Oregon's defense is going to make a big play late, Ducks by 3.
Okay. I like that take. I don't hate that. I think that's absolutely reasonable.
I think it's one of those things where I think like I said, I think Washington's going to win. It's going to be close. But I do think if Oregon wins, it will be on a late, dramatic play like that.
Yeah.
After, obviously, fighting and keeping it close all game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough.
This one's tricky.
It's game of the week for a reason.
Washington realistically could have 3 receivers taken in the top 2 rounds of the NFL draft. They could have Rome Odunze, Ja'Lynn Polk, and Jalen McMillan all go in the first 2 rounds of the draft. I know there's a couple different receiving rooms around the country. Ohio State's got they have a great 1-2 punch with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Egbuka. LSU has a great 1-2 punch with with Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. Oregon has a great 1-2 punch. But when you talk about receiving room, all 3 starters together, Rome Odunze, Ja'Lynn Polk, Jalen McMillan, they can all go in the top 2 rounds in the NFL draft. You mix that with Michael Penix Jr., who was the leading passer in the Power 5 last year and is second right now. Oh, man, it's really, really, really hard for me not to take them and to lay my money with Washington on this game. We'll see. It's going to be a great game. I'm going to be locked in the entirety of it. I'm going to go Washington 1-possession game. We'll reassess next week on the reaction and see what happened.